Hello everyone, so you might remember in last week's video, at the very end I showed you my meal plan for the week. And then I asked you, after showing you all the different dishes we're going to be having, what you would like to see me make in this video. So I thought I'd do sort of like a mixture of maybe dinners and lunches, and you guys delivered. You actually answered. I was worried that no one would say anything and people would be like, yeah, we're not bothered, whatever. But you gave me some feedback, let me know what you wanted to see, and so that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So most likely if you told me, you said, oh, I want to see this, fingers crossed that'll be in the video. I don't think I did everything that everyone wanted, but I can do them another time. But yeah, that's basically kind of what today's video is going to be all about. Hopefully giving you some inspiration and some ideas for some quick and easy dinners, lunches, and whatever. So I think Mark is going to start this video off with the first dinner. I thought we'd do it kind of in a way that we can both do some of the meals, because we kind of just share cooking. So some days I cook dinner, other days Mark does, sometimes I make lunch, sometimes Mark does. We just completely, there's no one who does it more than the other, really. So I thought that's how we do it in this video, and Mark said he'd happily do it. So yeah, over to Mark.
Welcome to Cooking with Mark. It's a Monday, which means meatball marinara spaghetti, because it has alliteration with Monday, and also it's on the meal plan. So it looks a bit like this. As always, we're going to aim to try and replicate this, because we can, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So we've got turkey mince, mixed herbs, black pepper, salt, breadcrumbs, and I forgot an egg. So we're going to use all of this to make our meatballs, and usually we're making this in the book with beef and pork, still minced meat, but we thought we'd try turkey just for a change. Have never tried this before, but we do use turkey for some other meatball recipes. It always turns out really well, so we'll give it a try. Let's make some meatballs. Right, so I've got my spag on, which is pretty much nearly done. We use brown rice pasta, which is gluten-free. And the recipe says to fry an onion, which is optional because obviously me and Becky can't eat onion, so we always try and make it optional or provide a substitute where we can. So instead of using onion, I've decided to just use some julienne courgette, which I just did using a peeler. And it'll cook really quick, and then I'm just going to chuck in all the ingredients for the sauce. So there you go, that has turned out very well, even if I do say so myself. And the finishing touch, some Parmigiano. So there you go, that is meatball marinara spaghetti, turkey meatball style, made by Mark on Monday. And now I'm gonna dig in.
Good morning. So I completely forgot, / was so hungry, / yeah, just didn't give you a review of last night's dinner, which was our meatball marinara. It was honestly so amazing. So if you're watching this, thank you, Mark. It was very yummy. I've already told you it was very yummy, but I absolutely love using turkey mince, and obviously the recipe in the planner doesn't say to use turkey mince, but it's something that we often have in the cupboard, and people so regularly say that turkey mince is dry or doesn't have much flavour. I think the opposite. I think it's really versatile and you can add loads of things to it, and it's so nice. So yeah, and the sauce, I mean, I think it's so simple, but it just works. So yeah, I definitely recommend trying out the meatball marinara in the book. It's in the 3rd book, and it's just one of those really quick things. And if you have spare meatballs left over, which we tend to never have them left over because I just like, if I've got any spare, I just eat them afterwards. It's actually really good to have in like a meatball marinara kind of gluten-free sub, if you had like a sub roll that's gluten-free. So yeah, super duper yummy. And in other good news that isn't just what I ate yesterday being so awesome, I've got some amazing news that's book related again. Basically, I found out that I am a Sunday Times bestseller for a third time. So the first book was a Sunday Times bestseller, the second book was a Sunday Times bestseller, and now How to Plan Anything Gluten-Free is a Sunday Times bestseller as well, which blows my mind. It's crazy, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for making, like, sounds so like cliche and silly, but thank you so much for making my dreams come true, because like, how is that possible? Like, that I've written 3 books and they're all Sunday Times bestsellers. I have to show you it in the magazine, in the paper, because I mean, it probably doesn't mean a huge amount to you, but it's really exciting for me. And also I do think it's really exciting overall for gluten-free, because it just shows that there is a demand for it, and hopefully the fact that there are now 3 Sunday Times best-selling gluten-free books in the last year or so will show the world that the demand is there, and you know, restaurants, shops, everyone needs to step up and just provide even more gluten-free food. So yeah, this is the Sunday Times culture in the Sunday Times each week. And if you look here, the manual section is where recipe books are. I don't know why it's called manuals, but whatever. So you go, duh, duh, there you go. There's me. There's my name. Very, very exciting. I need to like highlight this because it's just very cool. Also underneath, Wordle. There's a Wordle book. Did anyone play Wordle? Does anyone still play Wordle? I don't know, but that's somehow in the charts as well. Maybe I'll buy that. But if you haven't bought this, why not buy it? So exciting. Thank you so much for making this possible. Oh, and also, whilst we're on the topic of like stuff in newspapers, magazines, whatever, in this month's edition, the Easter issue of Delicious magazine, which came out, I don't know when it came out, but I got a copy. It looks beautiful. One of the main reasons I got it was that I just love this front cover. I love all the chocolate. But also I got a copy because on page, let me find it. I can never find the right page. There we go. There's my face. On page 66 and 67, they asked me to make a recipe for them for Easter, a gluten-free recipe. So I made a gluten-free cherry baked Wells simnel cake. And it's in here alongside like a little story of me and the new book and details about me. So yeah, if you want to make this recipe is like exclusive to Delicious. So you just have to buy this magazine. And it's really worth it. I really like food magazines. It gives me lots of inspiration. And there are loads of different recipes that can be made gluten-free or are naturally gluten-free. So yeah, if you're looking for a magazine at the moment, highly recommend this one. Hello everyone, so it's dinner time, and the dinner that was requested the most in my last video last week, where I said, what of the meal plan do you want to see made, was what I'm going to make today. It was bang bang chicken, which is bang bang chicken noodles. It's a recipe from the first book, How to Make Anything Gluten-Free. It's kind of like Mark's invention, but I obviously make it all the time, so I thought I would make that for dinner. It's really quick and easy. And it tastes, I can't describe how it tastes. It just tastes so good. So good. I can't talk today because I'm so excited about eating it. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you how to do it. It won't take 2 seconds. So yeah, hopefully I'll show you. Then some of you guys who maybe haven't made it in the past will now think, yeah, it's easy enough, I'll make it. And also let me know below if you've ever made it before, because to me, it's probably my favourite recipe in the first book. So you definitely should make it. Right, let's get started. Right, so I think I've got all my main ingredients out. So I've got some chicken here, grated some carrot, bean sprouts. Always remember with bean sprouts to check that you've got some that don't have like a may contain gluten on the back. These don't, but I know that Morrison's ones do, which makes them not safe. So got some peanut butter, got some gluten-free soy sauce, got some garlic oil, got spring onions. Obviously I'm only using the green part because that's the low FODMAP part. I don't use the white. Then I've got some rice wine vinegar, some maple syrup, some crushed chili flakes, I've got some ginger, and I've got these noodles. So these are the noodles I'm using today. I've got these in Tesco. And yeah, very simple. So the chicken is in here, and it's just going to gently poach for sort of about 15 minutes. You don't want it too high, so I'm just letting it come to the boil, and then I'm going to turn it down so that it can poach. If you do it too quickly, it'll get really tough, which is not what you want. So yeah, nice and slow, And now onto the sauce. There we go. So the sauce looks a bit like this. It actually looks really, really nice and it smells amazing. Ooh, it smells good. So that's all done. And now, since I've been taking ages mixing this together, the chicken's done. So I've just been frying my carrots and they're quite cooked now. So I'm gonna add my noodles, which I've strained, put those in and then just, oh, makes quite a lot of noise. Oh, and it's got stuck. So I'm just going to mix that all together, but do be careful when mixing noodles that you don't like break them too much. Sometimes I use chopsticks or even like some tongs work quite well, but I'll mix that all together and then I'll add in my chicken, which is now perfectly shredded. Right, so I've now added my chicken. I'm just going to mix that all in and then I'll be adding my sauce, which is very difficult one-handed. I'll have to scrape the bowl, but just going to add that and then I'll mix it in so it's all like evenly coated and you've got nice like little peanut butter kind of chunks all over the whole dish, all the noodles. You know, you don't want plain noodles, so make sure you coat it really well. So it's all really nicely mixed now. Then bean sprouts, I'll mix them in. Then I'll add the spring onion greens, and then I'll be done. So yeah, so there you go, that's Bang Bang chicken noodles, and I hope that I've shown you that it's really nice and easy, and I hope that's useful to all of you who requested this to be in this week's video. I'm just gonna go and eat this now, and hopefully in the coming weeks you'll be eating it too. So if you didn't know, it's in the first book, which is how to make anything gluten-free. But yeah, I'm off to eat. Bon appetit. So it's nearly lunchtime and I am going to make some poke bowls for lunch today. I think I'll make one for me and Mark. I'll have to ask him if he wants one. But basically, lots of you in last week's video and on my Facebook group also said that you'd really like me to show you how I do my poke bowls. Some of you didn't know what they were. Essentially, it's just like a rice bowl with lots of other bits and pieces, and you can really do it how you want. But I thought, as I'm making one, and it's sunny and I feel quite happy today, I'd show you what I'm doing. So yeah, that is what I'm going to show you right now. So the base of a poke bowl is rice. I'm using sushi rice, but you can use whatever rice. When I sometimes have these when I'm up in London, and I often opt for brown rice. But basically you just need to cook some rice, which I've already done my sushi rice today. So to do sushi rice, you need to wash your rice quite a few times in cold water, and then you boil it up. You cook it for about 10 minutes simmering in a very small amount of water. You cook it for about 10 minutes with the lid on, and then you turn the heat off and leave it in there with the lid on for another 15-20 minutes. And then you stir through it some rice vinegar or mirin and some sugar and a bit of salt, and this is what you got. So this is ready for me to use, but I need to do the other bits. Now it might seem like, oh, I'm having to make fancy sushi rice or something, but it's really not. You literally can use whatever rice you want. And this is really, really quick to do, and honestly, it tastes so, so good. So yeah, would highly recommend sushi rice. You can get it obviously in all the supermarkets. This is just some simple one from Tesco. But yeah, I love sushi rice, and I guess kind of making it with sushi rice and everything, it almost seems like you're making deconstructed sushi in a bowl, which, I mean, is a very yummy thing. Again, with a poke bowl, you can use whatever like protein that you want to. Today I'm using salmon, sometimes I use tuna, I use chicken. I've done it with no meat at all. You literally can do whatever you want. So I'm going to show you how I make it with my salmon today, and I'm going to make like a teriyaki salmon, which these are all my ingredients. I've got some ginger, some garlic oil, some gluten-free soy sauce, some rice vinegar, I've got a bit of sherry here, and I've got some sugar, but you could potentially swap this out for maple syrup if you want to. This is like the base of my teriyaki in the book, which I've got a teriyaki chicken stir fry in the book, but it works really, really well doing it with the salmon in a pan. So that is what I'm going to do. Basically, literally just mix these all together and heat it up, chop this up and put it into it, and you've got some really quick and easy teriyaki salmon, which you can then put on top of your poke bowl. Right, Right, so I've got my pan and I've got some of my teriyaki sauce. I'm going to add this in and then sort of let it reduce a little bit and get nice and sticky before I add my salmon, which it looks like I'm about to tip in, but here's what I'm talking about with my salmon. I've got it all chopped up perfectly, and that's what's going to cook into this. So I'll add this in now. So this is on a really high heat. I'm just letting it sort of reduce a little, and then the sugars that are in it will become really nice and sticky. So yeah, just make sure it's nice and hot. Keep stirring, and then I'll add my salmon. So the salmon is cooking in the sauce. Doesn't that look good? It's really nice and sticky and so quick to do. Oh my goodness, it smells great. Right, so I've got my bowl. Now I'm going to put it all together. And that is lunch served. So I had the rice on the bottom, then I put some edamame beans, got some avocado which I sliced. I tried to do it pretty, but it's just, you can do it however, and it's not that pretty. It's good. I've grated some carrot and I put that there. And I've also got my salmon, which has got some sprinkled black sesame seeds on, a little bit of spring onion, and obviously you might have seen that I also put some of the glaze from the pan because there was a bit of sticky glaze, and that just makes it so nice. And if you've got any extra and you're not just looking to make it look kind of pretty, you could just pour it all over and it would be really, really nice. But yeah, that's my lunch.
So here's a little preview of what's for dinner next. It is Mark's Thai red curry, and that is me, in case you didn't know. If you didn't know, you must be very confused why this random person is suddenly cooking. But I'm back, and I'm going to be cooking this for dinner. Right, so first things first, fry some aubergine in some groundnut oil. And while that's going, it's time to make the paste. So this is basically a lot of store-cupboard ingredients and a couple of things from the fridge. We've got coconut milk, lime juice, garlic infused oil, got a little bit of maple syrup, but you can also use caster sugar instead. I've got my favourite fish sauce. And then we've got cumin, ground coriander, minced ginger paste, lemongrass puree, and chili paste. So I'm going to mix all that up, curry paste, and then we'll get back to the wok. So there is my homemade Thai red curry paste. All simple store-cupboard ingredients. We have these in the house like all the time because you tend to only use 1 teaspoon of it at a time. So that's going to be the base of our curry, and what I'm going to do now is get back to the wok and show you what's next. So the chopped aubergine is looking nice and golden in places. So what I'm going to do next is add in 1/3 of the coconut milk. There you go. Straight in, not the whole lot. I'd say that's about good. Maybe a little bit more. So we're going to stir that up, get it to nice and bubbling, and then we're going to add the curry paste. Right, so this is nice and bubbling, in goes the curry paste. Right, so there you go, curry paste in, mixed in. We're just going to wait till this mixture slightly thickens. It's almost there actually, because my coconut milk really separated and I got mostly the cream anyway, so a lot of the water's left in here. So then I will add the chicken in, which I will do off camera because of obvious reasons. Right, so chicken's in. I'm just going to let this kind of cook in this nice coconutty paste for a little bit, and you can see the aubergine is softening a lot more as well. And then I'll add the rest of the coconut milk. The chicken is pretty much sealed. It doesn't have to be properly sealed because we're going to simmer it for quite a while. Then, next, the rest of the coconut milk. So that's going to make things a lot wetter, and it's going to finish cooking off the chicken and the aubergine. I'm going to let that simmer, and I will see you in about 10 minutes. Right, so we've been simmering away. Everything's pretty much cooked now. And I kind of want to speed up this process of it thickening, so I tend to add a little bit of corn flour or potato starch mixed with water. I can see that it's kind of separated from the water there, so I'll give it a stir before I add it. But this will instantly thicken it up, and then it'll be pretty much done. There we go. And I want to stir that in very quickly, otherwise it cooks and becomes a blob. So stir it in straight away. And you should notice that straight away the sauce will be nice and thick. Right, spring onion greens, tie it all together, boom. Okay, I can turn it off now. And that's it. Very quick, very easy, using mostly store-cupboard ingredients, and one of our staple favourites in our house. Can you explain what's going on, please? Because last thing anyone knows is we were eating a curry.
Oh yeah, so it's the next day and we've come down to the woods which it sounds so picturesque. It sounds like my Lumi light, the like
When you
sound
wake
that
up in the
tries to
morning.
wake me up in the morning, but it's actually real. And we came back for another go at finding wild garlic, and we thought we weren't going to find any because we looked and we couldn't find any.
I didn't even know. I was a bit lost for a while.
So Mark came through some of the brambles. He struggled his way through. I found an easier way through whilst he was faffing with that. And he just waved a bit of leaf in the air and goes, "Found it, we found it!" And so this is all wild garlic, surrounded by stinging nettles, which isn't ideal. But I'm gonna pick some, and then hopefully I can do some like baking or cooking, pesto, scones. Yeah, I'm so happy because, as you guys know, was it last week or the week before?
The week before,
The week before we came and we struggled, but we've come to the very same place and we found it. So it looks kind of like this. It's like thicker. You'll see a lot of like really thin leaves that look like this in the woods at the moment, but it's thicker and it smells of garlic.
Well, that's the sign you found it.
Yeah.
And it grows near water, apparently.
Yeah, so
there's some water. There's a little stream here.
Yeah, I didn't really think this was classed as enough water, but it is. So I'm gonna now
fill your boots.
Fill my boots. But yeah, I don't know how much I need to make stuff. We won't take it all. So if anyone knows where we are, lives locally.
It looks like this.
It looks like this. It's down a hill. It takes a little while to walk here. But I'm leaving you some wild garlic, and I'll probably make some recipes using it because...
So you'll need it.
Yeah, you'll need this stuff, so find it. So we've just realised that we're a bit stupid. The last time we came here, you might remember that we stood by this lake over here, and
Peggy was on the bench.
Yeah, Peggy was on that bench. We walked all around here, and we are literally standing about a minute away. Like the wild garlic is literally just over there. So if you do come to this wood, see that sign, lake, and just go sort of down there, and the wild garlic's down there. So yeah, we were a bit silly, but you know, who knows, it might not have been there. It might have been a bit early, whereas
it was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
It's a couple of weeks ago, so it might not have been around yet, but there's lots right now. And yeah, we're gonna go home and maybe I'll use some. I've actually made my shoes a bit muddy, which is a bit sad, but that's what happens in the woods, I guess. I'm just very happy. So we're back home from wild garlic picking, and I'm just really buzzing. Like, I'm so excited that we actually found some. It's like, I've been wanting it for so long, and I genuinely thought today was going to be another fail, but Mark spotted it, we both picked it, and now I need to go downstairs, actually wash it, and put it in the fridge or do something with some of it at least today. So let me know if you'd like to see something like in next week's video of me using the wild garlic, like in a recipe, because I can definitely do that. And also leave your suggestions below of things I can do with wild garlic, because I'm a wild garlic novice and all I know about is pesto and scones, so that's probably what I'm gonna do. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions, leave them below. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.